Mike, it's good to see you here in Portugal, and it's great to be out here for a week's worth of training.
Absolutely. This is what it's all about. Preparation for Europe, and the lads seem to be responding really well.
And we've got the Champions League draw in a week's time. You must be excited for that?
Very excited. I know it's been many years on the bounce of going to Geneva, but it's one of those things. It's part of the occasion.
And over the last year, we had some successes. We won the league, we won the Welsh Cup as well. It must have been great to finally get your hands back on some silverware.
Yeah, well, it never really left. COVID kept it in our cupboard, but and I'm afraid to say we didn't win the COVID Cup, as I've always been quite vocal about. And normal. How do I say it? Normality has returned. So luck has gone out of it. Duckworth-Lewis has not been applied to football again, so at the moment now it's all what goes on the pitch.
And we had some great success in Europe last season in the Europa Conference League, some great games in the Czech Republic, Lithuania and Northern Ireland. This time around, you must be very confident that we can finally make that step into one of the group stages. Always
confident. You have to say you cannot, particularly in the Champions League, you cannot take anything for granted. It's whether you're playing the lowest coefficient club there is, it will always be tough, because every league winner will have good players. They know what it's about, and this is a very tough ask. Particularly, yes, we're seeded, but most of the teams on the other side of the draw have far bigger budgets than the New Saints.
And you've been owner now and chairman of the New Saints for 2 decades. You must have seen some great teams over the years. Where would you rank this current crop of players compared to what we've had before?
I think the crop that we've got are up there with the very best. I've always said that the group we had in the early noughties were technically extremely good. Perhaps we didn't have a lot of pace. But then as we developed through, we found the next crop of players, and as they got better, we had the pace, and they possibly eclipsed them when it came down to performing on the pitch. But you have to take each generation as it comes, because if you go back to the 60s, the crop of players we had in the noughties would have won what you'd call the English Premier League today. That is the difference between the standards of play and the expectation of fitness.
And what about looking back? You must have experienced some really good European ties. Anyone that particularly sticks in the mind?
I think the win in Kosovo when Dean got the header. I think winning in Northern Ireland against Cliftonville back in 2011. Both of those were extremely great ties and very emotional. A passion from both sides. Both clubs wanted it, and particularly our friends in Northern Ireland. They've stayed our friends, and we're still friends with a number of Northern Irish clubs, and we absolutely love going over there. The guys last year we played Glentoran. We hadn't played for probably 10 or 12 years. Those friendships come back. It was great that we won, but you know what? Those guys end up being your friends when the 90 minutes is gone. You're back to being friends. There's other clubs who you may not have that same friendship with, but those are clubs which, there's a lot of respect between the two clubs, and whoever won would have played their hearts out and got that to get that win.
And talking of Cliftonville, we are playing them at Park Hall in the pre-season friendly in a few weeks' time. But what fans want to know, Mike, the transfer window's open. Are we going to be making any moves in the market this time?
Yes, there's 2 or 3 players that we have got in negotiation at the moment, but at the 11th hour here, we are interested in talking to Gareth Bale. We hear that he's on a free. We've got the resources to be able to sign. I think that the type of man he is that wants to progress Welsh football, this is a great opportunity for him to help us proceed in Europe, which would then unlock the national game at a club level and not just at a country level.
Well, that would be great, wouldn't it, to see Gareth Bale in a TNS shirt in a few weeks' time. Mike, we know you're very busy. We'll let you get off this afternoon. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Sam.